So in case you didn't catch it, we're playing with DOSBox here. We're running DOS programs, and we're going to go to one old DOS program called Arkanoid. And you see there's an Arkanoid.com, and we're going to run DOSBox here. Now, the last video we showed you how to configure DOSBox and how to install a shortcut, which is what we're doing. We're making a shortcut of it. We're renaming that to Arkanoid. Arkanoid. And then that's so we don't confuse it. You notice we already have one for Galaxian. So we sit there and go properties and we click here. And we add in a -C command, -C. And then we're going to put in the file name and the directory and the file name, Arkanoid/Arkanoid. So it goes and finds it after it launches. Well, the reason we'll get to the change icon in a little bit here. If you look over here in properties it's no different than what we did over here in Galaxian. So if we go ahead and click on Arkanoid, okay, you'll see that we did the same exact thing here. But let's run it. And you'll see that it didn't actually run it for some reason. It didn't change the directory to Arkanoid. It didn't do the command, the C command and everything. And we have to find out why it's not working correctly. And actually, it's pretty obvious. If we look at the command line here, we'll see that it's trying to run the Arkanoid command from outside the directory. Okay, it does the C and says, oh, just go to the Arkanoid and run Arkanoid. Well, there's other resources in that directory, and with a lot of programs, you have to be in the directory, especially in the older stuff, in order to do it. So in order to run the program. So in order to do that, we're going to put a second command in here. You see, we're going to do a change directory to Arkanoid as a first -C command, and you have to put that in quotes. Then we're going to remove the directory from the second command, and just so another command, a -C command, so it just says Arkanoid. Okay, so theoretically now it's going to first change the directory to Arkanoid and then run the program Arkanoid. So if we go here, sure enough, here we are. And then you'll see that these are CGA and EGA screens, which was advanced video resolutions back then. And you simply choose which one you want and everything to use. You choose your mouse, keyboard, or joystick. You come in and sure enough, here we are playing Arkanoid, one of the greatest games of all time, as a matter of fact. I love this game. Again, we're at 3,000 cycles, so it's going to run a little bit too fast, so we need to fix that as well. Or just use your F11 or F12 key to do it. But that's, again, how you run Arkanoid. Now, I can right-click on that and change the icon. Well, how do we change the icon? It's got the DOSBox icon. So if I go over here to the Arkanoid directory, and change this here to all, there's nothing inside the Arkanoid directory to do that. We can choose some of these standard ones that come with Windows, but there's no icon for Arkanoid, of course. You can play around and look at something in here, but what you really want to do is create an icon for your game. So how do we do that? Oh, there's an old MSN icon from years ago. But anyways, we want to get out of here and we want to go out and create our own icon for the game. So in order to do that, we're going to browse and go back here, and we're going to look in there. There's nothing else that we can use to do that. So we're going to have to go ahead and do a create icon. But before we do that, before we go out and actually create an icon, you can always go out to the internet and do a search and take a look at, see if you can find an icon out there already. Arkanoid icon. Now you're going to find a lot of these icon sites out there. Don't go to those. Don't try and download those. Some of them you have to be very careful with and everything. They're free downloads, things like that. The Arkanoid for, different things. If I go to this one here, this is nothing about what I want and everything, so I'm going to close that down. You also got to be very careful when looking at stuff like this because there's a lot of bad websites out there trying to get a hold of your computer and stuff, and they'll have embedded viruses and stuff. So if we look around a little bit more and we say, oh, it's classic arcade games, free download. What I'm looking for is not the download, obviously, since I already have it. What I'm really looking for is an icon. And I'm trying to read here to understand what's available. So if I go over here, again, I can't find it. So I could do this all day and I still may not find one. So we're going to go back. So we're going to go back and we're going to go back to the desktop. We're just going to forget all this and everything. And I'm going to close everything down and go back to the game. And we're actually going to run the game. So if I click on Arkanoid to run the game, and I get to the point where I want to be, where the game is actually running and everything, what I'm going to be able to do is hit the print screen button. It could be right here, okay, during the intro if you want to do it that way, or you can any one of the screens you can do. This is a high score screen, of course. But here's the screen it looks like I want. So I'm going to hit print screen here and capture this screen here that looks like this. So after I have that captured, I'm going to go ahead and I'll try and play a little bit. Now, anyways, I'll close it down. So now what do I want to do? Well, I want to go back. I'm going to go back to the start screen, type in Paint, go to Paint program. It's built into Windows. Paste in that screen capture I just did. And then I'm simply going to come up here. I'm going to crop it. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to crop this area. I want to grab this area here. And I want to use this for my icon. So I'm going to go ahead and say, that, okay, let's go ahead and crop. And now I have this image here. Now, if I look at the settings and as far as the sizes, now icon files are usually pretty small, like 16 pixels, 32 pixels, 64 pixels, and all that. And that goes to the days where you used to have different sizes and everything. You can still do that, but I'm just going to save this as a BMP format. I'm going to go over here, go to Arkanoid. I'm going to just call this Arkanoid BMP. So if I go Arkanoid, I don't even need to put that in there. It'll automatically save it as a BMP because that's what I selected. Close this down. I go back to the Arkanoid shortcut, open up Properties, change icon. I go browse back to the Arkanoid directory, go in there. I change this to all files, and there's my graphic. Click on that. There it is there. I say OK, OK again, and now you'll see there it is. I right click, say Pin to Start, go over to the Start menu. Sure enough, now I have, besides the Galaxian, I have the Arkanoid icon for my game over here. Nice, slick, no need for other programs. If I click on this, it should run the Arkanoid program. Sure enough, there it is, right from the desktop. Quick, easy, and you can create as many of these as you want for any different games. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and create a couple more in other videos coming up.